Yesterday, I released substantial evidence in meticulous detail of the most corrupt president Guyana has ever had, President Irfan Ali, and his hidden 150-acre luxury ranch estate worth more than $5 billion in market value located along the Linden Highway. As leader of the opposition, I am now publicly calling for his immediate resignation from the office of the presidency. The Guyanese people deserve better, and you are not a leader for the people. Yesterday, I released substantial evidence in meticulous detail of the most corrupt president Guyana has ever had, President Irfan Ali, and his hidden 150-acre luxury ranch estate worth more than $5 billion in market value located along the Linden Highway. As leader of the opposition, I am now publicly calling for his immediate resignation from the office of the presidency. The Guyanese people deserve better, and you are not a leader for the people. It is a shame to see that the leaders of the PPP have destroyed the party of a true son of the soil, Dr. Chedi Jagan. I have been receiving an outpouring of calls and messages from farmers, from housewives, from cattle ranchers, from Guyanese from every walk of life about their outrage and literally fed up with the massive corruption of the PPP government, including the president. Added to the massive corruption of President Irfan's ranch, and more exposure to be made public, I want to bring to your attention this obscene former president's benefit bill that he is trying to pass in Parliament. Fellow Guyanese, I want you to understand how serious this is and why every Guyanese should be outraged and protest against this. The corrupt PPP government calls for Parliament to resume for one of two reasons only. One, to approve additional funding for their large corrupt deals after they have squandered out all the money that was passed by Parliament, and they need more. And secondly, to pass bills such as this repulsive and greedy benefit bill, which is only for two people in this entire country. Former President and now Vice President Jack Dio, and current President Irfan Ali. And now we know exactly why President Irfan is amending the current bill, which currently entitles him and all other former presidents with the benefit of 7/8 of the salary of the sitting president and many other benefits. Now, the most corrupt president, President Irfan, wants to put an additional burden on the Guyanese people to amend the bill to fund his lavish lifestyle of unlimited spending on the backs of the Guyanese people. This is what President Irfan wants for himself only: unlimited payments of water, electricity, and telephone services at their residences, personal household staff, including an attendant and a gardener, clerical and technical staff upon request, free medical treatment or reimbursement of medical expenses for themselves and their dependent family members, full-time personal security and the services of the Presidential Guard Service at their residence, state-owned and maintained motor vehicles, toll-free road transportation throughout Guyana, an annual vacation allowance equivalent to the cost of 2 first-class return airfares. And the most vulgar request of his new bill is tax-exempt status for life. These boys want to live like Maharajas. What this means is that if the electricity bill for a sprawling ranch is $100 million for the year, you, the Guyanese people, have to pay that. His sprawling man-made circuit creek that he made, which costed around $60 million, you will have to maintain that creek, meaning you will have to pay for the maintenance. The tax-exempt status for life attributes him to put the ordinary farmers out of business with his massive corrupt agricultural investment. The fishermen, the cash crop farmers, even the business community, I hope you are paying keen attention, because you will also suffer and be put out of business. Irfan could import animals, equipment, machinery, vehicles, building materials, and other business inputs without paying a cent, while the farmers and business owners must pay. That is unfair competition. From the largest piece of machinery needed for any business, even down to a single screw, he could get those tax-free. He can bring in a jet tax-free, all at the expense of taxpayers. As president, I will not approve this excessive spending on the Guyanese people and will continue to use my existing salary for humanitarian work for the people. Another problem with this bill is the way it talks about a former president's home. It says the residence, but it never tells us exactly what that means. Is it one house? Is it the main house where the former president lives? Or if a former president owns 2 or 3 homes, are taxpayers expected to pay all of them? The 2015 law was much clearer. It spoke about the former president's habitual place of residence in Guyana. So everybody understood it meant one main home. The health provisions in the bill raise another uncomfortable question. When Jagdi or Irfan cough too hard, they do not go to the Georgetown Public Hospital. Never. Our healthcare system is no good for them. They travel to India and other countries for treatment. President Irfan is serving his 2nd term, and the Constitution limits a president to 2 elected terms. Irfan knows his time as president is coming to an end, and he is putting measures in place to have taxpayers mine him till he's dead. I have even received information that President Irfan is stealing electricity for his massive luxury estate. Can you believe that? I want to emphasize again, don't let President Irfan and his cabals try to defend his massive corruption. It is impossible for a man who has been a public servant all his life to amass 150 acres of land and a more than $5 billion luxury estate. Also, I heard Irfan is trying to get a bank that he is very close to cook the books like if he took a loan. You understand what I'm trying to say? He's trying to get a bank to cook the books, to backdate like if he took a loan. And we all know that when you take a loan, you have to pay every month an interest, especially when a business is not generating money, when you're at now the developing stage. So understand what I'm saying. He's trying to cook the books like if he took a loan. But the Guyanese people are very wise. Meanwhile, the average Guyanese has to wait years and even decades for a 40 feet by 80 feet pasture land. Public officials should be focused on serving the people, not creating additional benefits for themselves, while citizens struggle to make ends meet. We call on all Guyanese, including all political parties, trade unions, civil society, the Integrity Commission, private sector bodies, farmers, public servants, and religious bodies to speak out, condemn this massive burden that is hanging on the necks of the Guyanese, and hold President Irfan Ali accountable to perpetuate this fraud on the Guyanese people for the rest of their lives. I will soon be exposing additional information regarding the operations at the president's 150-acre ranch estate. Since the video was released into the public domain, several individuals have come forward with information on the operations.